Hey kids, welcome back to another week of Old Man Plays CFL Fantasy. Not so great for me last week. Actually, seemed like I had good points, 101.8, but there were so many points available on that weekend that I was nowhere near in it. In my podcast league, I was 10th and I lost to the first place player. So he was almost 50 points ahead of me. So not a great weekend. Kind of feel like I don't know anything. I also went 1-2 in pick'ems. This week I'm going to be a little more generic because I'm having to record the show a bit early here. The goddess and I are heading off on a bit of a trip and won't be able to do this on Thursdays the way that I normally do. So I'll still pick the team. I'll give you whom sort of my best thoughts are. Full disclosure, there's a good chance I may be swapping out some of these if it gets later in the week and I start seeing injury reports. Let's look at what we've got coming up this week. The first game is Toronto at Montreal, and probably the most important thing to know about this game is that Davis Alexander is back and Chad Kelly is not. The Chad is back did not participate at practice, so I don't know what's going on there, but I think this will not be much better than the first game of the year between the two of them, so I'd stay away from Toronto quite a bit. Might want to look at a couple of receivers for them that are out there. They've had Maytel doing quite a good job lately, and Coxie, of course, has been solid all the way through. So that's a possibility there. Other than that, first game of the season between the two of them here, where they went with it, Coxie was definitely the high scorer there, although they also got a little bit to Ungerer. I would say those are your two for Toronto, Maytel or Coxie. I'd stay away from the running game. They do get McMahon back. Williams is still out. Okay, now on the Montreal side of things, I'm probably not going to go with Alexander just in case there's any rust there on it. And at this point, Tyson Philpott was a limited and then I think did not participate in practice. So I'd be staying away from there quite a bit, I would think. Who else could we look at within that one? Well, Speaker and Sneed have both been very good, not terribly expensive receivers. So I might consider those two. All right, so that takes us then to the next game, Calgary at Winnipeg. Now, Winnipeg's back home, so I think they're probably going to do better. Problem with Calgary is VA can be all over the place. He doesn't really have a favorite receiver. He can go to anyone. Now, Damian Alford seems like a nice choice this week, considering that he went off for, what was it, 4 for 156 or something like that. Anyway, and a couple of touchdowns. But don't forget that they were picking on the backup DB on the boundary corner in Saskatchewan. So I don't know that Alford will do the same. Rhymes has been more consistent all the way through, and the same thing with Philpott. So if you're taking VA, maybe want to team up with one of those. If not, you've got those two definitely available anyway. I would definitely consider Mills, even though that Winnipeg line is good. I may not, though, only because they're at home. And the difference in the cadence and getting the off on the ball for the D-line may make it harder for him. So that's the only thing I'm a little bit leery of. Excuse my very whiny puppy in the background. Somebody seems to be torturing her. What's wrong, Coyote? Come on in if you want. Now, on the Winnipeg side of things, I would certainly hope that they will have a better game than last time. Calgary did force a lot of stuff to the outside. So if you looked at Kevin's Clarcius in the last game against Calgary, I think caught 8 or 9. So he's probably, for this game, probably a good choice. No touchdowns yet, but he's getting some work, and I think that might be a good way to go. The other side would be, of course, Carrick Wheatfall, who's had a couple of touchdowns. Although, keep in mind, he also went one game with, I think, no points. And then the last thing is Brady Oliveira. Even though they shut him down last time, shut down Winnipeg last time. Oliveira still got quite a bit of yards along the ground and in the air as well. So got to pick somebody there. He might be one of my other backs this week. The next one, which will be Saskatchewan at BC. That's going to be an interesting one. I might pick Harris because I don't know if they're going to run. I don't know if with Zach Fry in there or who they're going to have in at the guard position for them. They did bring back Nick Jones. If he's playing in there, then maybe things get better. So maybe AJ Ouellette, but I got to see what the line looks like there first of all. Otherwise, yeah, Keyshawn Johnson, he's usually good for about 15 to 20 points, and that for his price, that's not bad. And then Robicelli really had a great game last week and may have another one this week. So those are things to think about there. Then the other side, BC, Nathan is looking better and better. I think it might be time to give him a chance and see where I go with him. So I'm probably going to take him, my quarterback and captain, and then teaming him up. It's fairly obvious. It's either Hatcher or Berryhill. Hatcher's been probably the more productive in total yards. Berryhill's had more touchdowns. The last one then, Hamilton at Ottawa. And who knows after last week what that's going to be. Tim White might be good. Bo could be good again. He did not bad for me last week, but I think for the first time I may move off of him. Kenny Lawler, if I can afford him, sure, but I don't know that I can. And then on the Ottawa side of things, Drew Brown always throws for over 300 yards. How much will he score? I don't know, but he might be worth a thought. And then if you're going to do that, Eugene Lewis has been outstanding all season, so I would definitely go that way. Keelan White might be a value pick. He's been averaging about 3 to 4 catches and about 35 yards a game. You'll get some stuff out of that there. And then the last one would be Justin Hardy, who's probably going to be expensive though, but has been averaging about 6 catches and over 60 yards a game. So those are the ones that are there. Those are the ones to think about. Now I just got to try and figure that all out. So let's fire up the game zone on the computer here and see what we get. Started here. See what we've got going. I said I'd like to try Nathan this week, so let's see how expensive he is. He's the 15K one this week. Oh, several of them are. The ones that are up there are no real cheap ones out there other than Arbuckle, which I don't want to go with. So let's go with Nathan. And then that would mean that I would want to team him up with Hatcher, I'm thinking. So where's Hatcher? He's at 12.2 each. That's getting expensive. Let's go with the running backs. Who did we say that we could consider? Butler I don't see doing well, although he did get some yards against the Mills, against Winnipeg again. He's been running hard. And Ouellette is 13.5. I really wish I knew about that Saskatchewan line, but until I see them, I don't think so. So let's go with Brady Oliveira at home and Butler, which takes me down now to 17. So I can afford about roughly 6K for each of these last positions. All right. So let's see, who do I have at wide receiver? Let's go 4 to 6 first of all. Okay, so I could get Unger for that. I could get Smith. I could get Clairsees. I think for 4.5, I like Clairsees. If we go back to our flex position now, 6 to 8. Okay, so we could get Wheatfall there, although I'm not too certain about that. Could get Katoy as well, and he's been doing relatively solid. And that's putting more onto Nathan having a good game. So yeah, what the heck? Let's go for broke, which leaves us 5.3K to go to our defenses. So who can we get for that price? Whoops. Put those all in there. 5.3. So they're out of my hands. They're out of my hands. Saskatchewan's out of my hands. Hamilton is out of my hands. Toronto is still too expensive. Well, look at that. I can't get anybody. At running back, I'm thinking maybe I'm going to look at Sean Thomas Erlington, which then leaves me 9.9, 9.8 for my defense. Okay, so Saskatchewan at 8K. Alrighty, so we're taking some chances there. We've got the Saskatchewan Roughriders defense, Nathan Rourke as our quarterback, teamed up with Keon Hatcher. Brady Oliveira is on along with Sean Thomas Erlington as the running backs, Kevin Clarcius and Katoy as the other wide receiver and the flex. So I'm putting a lot of stuff in the BC game here, and we'll have to see how that all turns out. I will make Nathan my captain. That's it. Locked and loaded, ready to go. Okay, so there it is. Them's my picks for this week. Don't know that I feel all that good about them. It's another tough week to pick. But anyway, so it goes. Them's my picks. If you care to use them, do so at your peril. Otherwise, check out our flagship show, the CFL Outsiders, where GT, MJ, and I all go over the games from the week before, talk about bits of news from the CFL, and look at the upcoming games. But we do it with a little less statistics and a little more of just a general fun discussion. We like to think of it as like the family getting together to talk football. So join us for that if you'd like to. That would be wonderful. Keep in mind, this is coming out early this week, so make sure you check the injury reports and the final depth charts as much as you can. I don't guarantee that things won't go a little wacky before this actually falls into play. Guess that's about it. The usual beg, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know how we're doing, all that stuff. Otherwise, that's it for now. Till next week, Oldman signing off.